All right, I'm going to start kick things off while you keep doing the promote to panelists. So hi, everybody. Welcome. I'm Deb Advocates in Action. No, that's not me. I'm Deb Kanai from Advocates in Action. And I'm going to give you a little bit of housekeeping. You're at the quarterly Rhode Island DD Community Forum. I'm going to just give you a few little ins and outs about the meeting. One is that as you come in, we're promoting you to a panelist because we set this up as a webinar so we could use the question and answer feature. But when we do that, we can't see your face. If some people are saying they don't want to be promoted to a panelist, that's fine, but you won't be able to talk. So when there's question and answers, if you want to do that, then let us know. This is being recorded and will be available on the division's website and on our website. And we will have an edited version that has all the questions highlighted in an index, so you can go to those, and we'll have the raw version there too, the unedited, so you'll be able to see this afterwards. Excuse me. It's being live streamed on Facebook. Everybody wave to Facebook. Hi, Facebook. It's a little bit of waving there. We also have an ASL interpreter. If anybody needs to use that, there is a button on the bottom that looks like a globe that you can click and then turn on ASL interpretation. If anyone needs help with that, put a message in the chat and we will have one of our people little chatting thing in the bottom there. And the other thing is when it's we're going to have times for questions and answers at the end, and they might take some as we go. And Andrew Whalen, who works for us, is going to facilitate that part and read the questions. But we just ask, when you have questions, please try to put them in the question and answers versus the chat, because they'll get lost in the chat sometimes. And then the other thing is just to be thoughtful of the fact, if you're going to put a bunch of stuff in the chat that some people may not read. So try not to, overuse the chat, because it's kind of exclusive that way. So does that cover everything, you guys? ANA people? Yes, Andrew? Yeah, all right. So then Keith is going to do some introductions here, our president.
A little bit. Hello, my name is Keith Wilcox. I'm president of Advocates in Action. And it's a good thing to do these meetings, DD community forums, to get answers about the DD system. And just want to welcome everybody and turn it over to Kevin Savage, the director.
Hey, thank you, President Wilcox. I appreciate
No
the
problem,
introduction.
Kevin.
And we'll get started. So today we have a number of topics to update you on, and I want to move quickly to make sure that we have enough time for questions and answers. I think we usually get an hour and a half, but today we're only getting an hour. So the first topic under the consent decree is a quick update on where we are with conflict-free case management. And Brenda Duhamel is going to give us an update on that.
Sure. Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I wanted to remind everyone that the best place to get updated information is to go to the EOHHS CFCM website, which we keep updated with all the latest information and documents and timelines, etc. There's also some questions and answers that get put up there. So it's a great place to keep going back to get newest information. We did have a stakeholder meeting this past Friday. And so we will put those slides up on the website, and several people have asked questions. And so we're doing a question and answers document as well that will be on the website as well. We have another stakeholder meeting planned for December 14th. I think that's a Thursday, and that'll be from 9 to 10 in the morning. If you go to that website that I spoke about, you can register through the link that'll be on the website. I encourage as many of you as possible to listen in, keep up with what's going on, and ask questions there as well. At the last stakeholder meeting, we did talk a little bit about the what gets documented in our system around the person-centered plan, and some information about the training that we're planning for the new conflict-free case managers that the state will put on. So that's what's the latest information that's up on the website for you.
Okay, thanks, Brenda. Any questions for Brenda? Great. Okay, the statewide workforce initiative is moving forward. I'm sure most of you know, but for the benefit of those who don't, this initiative really was a brainchild of the court and the court monitor. And we've gotten this organized over the past year to help build, sustain, and create career paths for direct support professionals who provide support in the provider community and in the self-directing community to adults with disabilities with service needs across the system for employment, for home-based supports, for residential supports, in whatever way you need it to meet your ISP goals. Building the workforce to be able to do that in a way that sustains, so that you know that when you need service providers, they're there for you. And from the service provider point of view, the worker point of view, that it's a career. So it's worth sticking with the job, worth staying with the organization or with the person who's employing you, because there's a career path in developing this as your chosen career. And so that's really what the statewide workforce initiative is about. We actually did a presentation at the NASD's conference down in Virginia last month, and it went well. We had a lot of questions that people asked us about what we're doing here, had the opportunity to listen to what people are doing around the country, which was exciting. But I think what we're doing is just as exciting as what everyone else is doing. And it's very significant that we're targeting what we're working on, breaking it down into manageable pieces, getting the work accomplished in work groups, being overseen by the council, and moving this whole process forward. There's always a lot of information on the website for people to see, and the hub for people, and we can get information out on that. I don't want to bog us down too much in the details, but just want you to know that there is a workforce initiative out there that's working to continuously build up the DSP workforce and sustain it so that workers are available to people with disabilities. And I'll certainly happily answer questions about that at the end. Next topic is on goods and services, and Jackie Cameloni is going to give us an update on the efforts that we've been making on better defining goods and services for people to access. I can't hear you, Jackie. Can other people?
No, and you're not muted, so I'm not sure.
I would log off and log on again.
All right, so we'll move on and we'll come back to Jackie. Tracy Levesque, can you give us an update on the SIS changes in the tier letter?
Sure, absolutely. Good afternoon, everyone. So I just wanted to share for individuals who are not aware that the BHDH team has developed a comprehensive three-step assessment process, which will include the SIS, the additional questionnaire, both to be conducted at the same time, and then an individual follow-up within 1 week's time. All three components are essential to the assessment process. Once that's completed, the internal review by the BHDH team is completed, and you will receive your tier results in one letter to indicate what your tier level package is, in addition to whether additional funding is substantiated based on the full assessment process. We are actively working through the development of one document to be distributed. And so at this time, you may still receive two separate communications. In the coming months, it will come in one form. We are actively receiving tier results. We had put out communication that there was a delay in the transition of the rollover to the CISA second edition and receiving tier results. We are working with our consultant and receiving tier results on a weekly basis. And we have letters being distributed accordingly upon receipt. And I do believe, Kevin, that is the bulk of the CIS updates.
Great, thanks very much, Tracy. I think back to Jackie. I saw
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, I apologize for that. Good
No
afternoon,
worries.
everyone. So the technical bulletin for self-directed services, allowable individual goods and services has been updated. It is located on the BHDDH website under the forms and policies tab. There's also a new goods and service request form that will be, it's located under the self-direct tab on the BHDDH website. And we're asking for the request form to be submitted with all ISPs effective February 1st. And then there's also a brochure for goods and services that is located on the website as well.
Anything else on that?
And we just wanted to, Heather and I met with Health Source Rhode Island in November, just to, we wanted to explain what self-directed services was and how it's a benefit to individuals who self-direct their services to offer health insurance. So we did discuss a few different plans that Health Source Rhode Island offers, and we will be receiving more information and having a follow-up meeting. So we will have more information to come after our follow-up meeting.
So would that be at our next quarterly meeting, Jackie?
Yes, we will try to have the update then.
Okay, great. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Ann, were you going to give an update on the rate methodology, or was that going to wait till next time?
The rates went into effect on July 1st, and we're working on a plan for the new services and how they will be implemented coming up. We're still waiting for some billing codes, but most services can be billed right now that are active. Heather, did you want to say anything about any of the services?
Heather's not here yet, so we'll get.
Nope, I am.
Oh, you are, sorry, okay.
Yep. The one thing I will just say to the group is one of the new services is remote supports. And so it needed to go into our waiver because we currently don't have remote supports as a service option under our 1115 global waiver. And so CMS had informed us over the summer that the renewal of our waiver would not go in effect until 2025. And so we have asked CMS for permission or the authority to be able to start utilizing remote support sooner than that. And so we are waiting on confirmation that we would be able to do that because that's one of the services that we were hoping to roll out within the new year. Thanks, Ann.
All right, thank you. Youth in transition, Sue?
Yes, thanks, Kevin. Good afternoon, everyone. Happy to give a brief update regarding transition. Recently, we created a plain language, easy to understand guidance document for students still in school who may be eligible for adult services through DDD. And this document provides step-by-step information on applying for and accessing adult service funding while a student is still in school, which is really creating additional avenues of support for employment and community connections during the transition from school to adulthood. And we also created a clear step-by-step process document for teachers and other professionals involved in a student's life. And this provides information on how they can assist a student to access adult services while still in school. So both of those documents were vetted by family and advocacy groups, as well as colleagues from several different school districts. And the feedback that we're getting so far on those documents is very good. A couple months ago, I and Denise Aitchen of the Division of Behavioral Health had the very wonderful opportunity to present information about DDD and the transition process, as well as the Behavioral Health Guidebook for Youth and the Healthy Transitions Program to staff in pediatric offices across the state. So we were very happy to reach this group of professionals. As we know, families and individuals very often turn to their primary care provider for information and support. And Karen Lowell, the DDD eligibility supervisor, and I also presented to attendees of the Rare New England conference this past October about the eligibility process and transition services. So that's a conference for individuals who are managing rare medical conditions, and we were very enthused about that opportunity as well. Our contract with Ripen has been renewed and a revised scope of work has been completed. And this coming year, Ripen is once again attending individualized education plan meetings for students who are 17 or 18 years of age and have not yet applied to DDD, because they are also very good at helping people complete the DDD application at that age. Ripen, as everybody probably knows here, is really just a wonderful resource for families and students of this age, not only in helping understand the transition process and resources available in adulthood, but they also have wonderful webinars, and I believe Ripen is actually presenting, so I won't talk too much about that. But as part of our contract, Ripen also assists Spanish-speaking callers accessing our Spanish phone line and with an initial response, and then they connect to that person with staff from the division who can further assist. But I'm particularly excited about a new part of the contract with Ripen this year, which includes their development of a statewide social connections toolkit, which will consist of social and recreational activities and ideas to connect transition age youth and young adults with resources of interest in their communities. And Ripen is also creating tip sheets on how to make friends and build relationships for parents and young adults to use. So I want to thank everybody who has reached out to me with ideas to share your suggestions, and please continue to do so, because it's very helpful to us as we make sure that we're being proactive and also responsive to the needs of transitioning youth. Thanks,
Great.
Kevin.
Thanks, Sue. Appreciate it. Elvis, update on employment and outreach?
Yes, I'm happy to report that yesterday in the afternoon, I had a meeting with Charlene Martinez, which is the owner of Sincere Multi-Service. Also, she has a transportation service company. And she created a new position, which is a clerical position, 10 hours a week. And she is very happy to provide this position to a person with disabilities. It's pretty much like set aside position because she really wants to employ a person with disabilities there at her business. I spoke with Kay O'Donnell at the Fogarty Center, so we have been in communication since he sent the questionnaire, employment support questionnaire, yesterday, indicated that he might have some individuals for this type of job. Also, tomorrow I have to go to the new facility of Hope and Main, which is in Providence, because they are going to have a position there as well in the cafeteria. And we've been working also with Mary Ann Mason from Sperwick, who has identified a potential candidate for this position. So tomorrow we're going to be given a tour to the facility, and also we're going to learn more about the job description, the starting date. We know so far that it's 10 hours a week position. As far as employment and state agencies, I would like to inform also that last week we had a very important meeting with the staff from the Department of Administration. It was like senior staff, the Deputy Director, Human Resource Director, Chief of Staff, Associate Director of the Division Equity, Diversity and Inclusion. And so we talk about, the importance of, employing people with disabilities. We talk about the consent decree. We talk about state as model employer for best practice. And, Heather can explain also more, and also Jay here. I think it was very, very effective and a positive meeting. We're going to follow up with the Director of Human Resources to strategize on how we can employ people with disability at the state level. Also, we'd like to inform that we developed a brochure. It's an employee incentive brochure that we are now sharing with employers when we go to meet with them in the community. We continue to do our outreach. We are now in the process of scheduling meetings to talk about supporting employment with our agencies, and we are also involved with Rhode Island's Skill for Rhode Island Future. We are also involved with many other agencies and networking in the community. So that's all I have to inform so far.
Thanks, Elvis.
Thank
Can I
you very
just,
much. Karen? I mean, Heather, sorry.
nope, that's okay, Kevin. So I just wanted to say thanks, Elvis. That was a really great overview of all the things we are trying to do. We've been very busy in the employment unit. I mean, I think everybody's busy, but we really have been trying to move some of the employment initiatives that we're trying to work on forward. And I do want to say or stress even more that the meeting with DOA was really great. That's the Division of Administration, just for those who may not know. And we really talked about how we can get the state to be a model employer and really work at hiring individuals, not just with disabilities, but specifically with intellectual and developmental disabilities. And so we do have a plan on working with DOA to actually go out to the different departments and talk to some of the hiring managers. And so really get the message out there and hopefully connect with them so that we are able to make some connections and really get the state to be a model state for employment. So thank you. Thanks, Elvis. Thanks, Jay.
Okay, great. Thank you very much to the state team and for everyone who's participating. Right now, Sue Donovan from Ripon is going to give our presentation on what they've been working on for us.
Hi, thank you, Kevin. And I want to thank Sue Hayward for doing such a nice job talking about the work that we do with her unit, working with folks that are still in high school and families as they're transitioning into adult services. Today, I'd like to give an update on another program at Ripon called our self-directed support program at Ripon. In the chat, I just threw a little picture of the upcoming live webinars for 2024, but let me do a quick little recap. The last time we met was back in September, and we had just had our first webinar, Employment Supports, which was very well attended. And since then, we've added 4 more webinars to our list this fall. We interviewed the Sherlock Center and reviewed all of the resources that they have available for folks that are self-directing and how to tap into that. We did an overview of what self-directed services, what it is, what is that service delivery model. We interviewed 3 of the support brokers in the state of Rhode Island and talked about the services that they provide for folks that are self-directing their services. And most recently, last week, we had a great turnout for the supports intensity scale presentation that Donna Standish from BHDDH did, which was very well attended. So when you look at the webinars from August till now, there were 5 of them, and we're happy to say we had 452 participants in those. What's nice about those live webinars is we were able to record those along with our ASL interpreting in the recording, and they've since had an additional 450 views online. So that makes us really happy because that's more people seeing the information, sharing, getting the information and sharing the information. Last time we got together, I was talking about the outreach campaign that Ripon is doing with the telephone, a telephone campaign where we have a list of approximately 780 self-directed folks who we don't have an email address for. So we're not sure if they're online, if they're able to use that type of technology at home or not, but we do have their phone numbers. So we've been calling them, and we're about 200 into that list, and we've had a lot of great conversations with a lot of great people who are really excited to talk to us. And I want to share what the top 5 things are that people are really asking for and really want more of. Number 1, and this truly came in number 1, better, more, and enhanced communication, and all communication. So communication from the state, communication from our providers, right? Our fiscal intermediaries, consumer communication, communication with our workforce. So folks are looking for more information in different ways. The second that came in, the number 2 runner-up was social events and recreation. So Sue Hayward, we're on the right track. I'm glad that we've been working so closely on this particular project of identifying and building this toolkit, because the calls are in, and that's what folks are asking for. So that's really exciting. The third was staffing, and finding staff, training staff, retaining staff. Can I hire family as staff? Anything to do with staffing. Next is transportation. And after that, independent living options. And then after that, employment services, and or volunteer opportunities. We've come to the realization, over the past couple months, a lot of folks that had volunteer opportunities before the pandemic, some of those went away. Some of those opportunities don't exist anymore. So I think we have to be a little creative, and we have to, put on our investigator hat and kind of pound the pavement a little bit and look for new opportunities, or maybe create some new volunteer opportunities that maybe we're interested in. So more of that to come. And then lastly, dating and relationships. That's really important to our consumers, and we wanted to make sure that we shared that today with you folks. I did put a poster in the chat, and I also sent it along to Deb and Michelle at Advocates in Action, just in case you can't see it in the chat. I do want to share what we've got on the horizon. Oh, thank you so much. I can't even tell you. So we've got a few things coming on the horizon for our live webinar recordings that we're going to be presenting. As you can see, on January 30th, we're going to have a community information session with the Sherlock Center. We've got benefits planning and work incentives that will be presented. On February 27th, community connections. I'm really excited about this because several of you consumers who are on the call today, and some of you parents, have been asking about these types of resources, getting folks together, and community connections will do just that. We're on the February 27th, we'll offer an online community of practice for consumers, family members, and professionals. So on that date, we will provide a Zoom platform, and we'll do a breakout session for those 3 different groups of folks. We'll have a facilitator and a recorder in each room so that we can brainstorm and discuss what we want our community connections to look like, right? It's great to be able to make friends, to share resources, to have a network, to get rid of that isolation so that we can find out what's going on in Northern Rhode Island or South County or East Bay, identify activities, and connect with people that we have things in common with. So we're really excited about that. I do expect that the community connections will turn into a hybrid of in-person and virtual meetings. But it'll really be driven by the folks that come together and share that information. On March 5th, the fiscal intermediary panel, who are they? What do they do? How and when do I connect with them? Fiscal intermediaries are agencies. We have 6 agencies in Rhode Island that provide services so that folks can self-direct, right? They're an agency that helps take care of the payroll services and taxes so that folks that choose to self-direct can do so. So we'll meet all 5 of them, and looking forward to that on March 5th. And then on March 26th, we have our friends at Advocates in Action joining us, a community information session, why I chose self-direction. So we'll have an opportunity to meet some folks who have chosen self-direction and how it's working for them. And then in April, on the 30th, we have employment success, and we will have a panel of folks that self-direct that that will share their employment journeys with you, and what they like about working and how they landed there. So thank you so much for sharing that. So those are our online offerings. As I said, I do anticipate we'll do some in-person with our community connections. And we also will, we anticipate that we'll be able to provide some workshops for consumers, for family members and caregivers, as well as professionals that are working with consumers on healthy relationships. So more to come on that after the new year. I think that's all I have.
Great, so thanks so much. Appreciate your input today. Before we move on to the ARC, I did receive a letter from through Advocates in Action from a parent who was discouraged by an interaction they had with Department of Human Services regarding Medicaid benefits, and then subsequently with communication between BHDDH and Department of Human Services. What I want that parent to know, who I believe is on the call today, is that we have worked hard to gain the right amount of information coming out of Department of Human Service on Medicaid benefits for people with disabilities. But we will up the ante on that and continue to work with Department of Human Services to improve the information that's going back and forth between our agency and their agency, so that we're up to date on the benefits that people with disabilities who receive DD services from BHDDH have, so that we'll be up to date on what their Medicaid benefits are as well, so we can see if we can streamline difficulties that arise when they lose BHDDH benefits, and us turning that around through better communication between our 2 agencies. It's an ongoing issue, I know, but we'll continue to work on that. So with that said, let's move to Carrie Hobbs, who's going to be doing a presentation for the ARC of Rhode Island.
Hi, Kevin. I think it's actually going to be Kimberly Hindenburg. If I said your last name properly, I believe she's going to jump on to talk about
ACP.
Yes.
The Affordable Connectivity Program.
Yes.
And you were very good with the last name. Thank you. I apologize. I sound like I've been chewing on gravel. So I'll do the best I can for you today. So I'm part of the ARC Rhode Island. I've been there about a year now. And we were just recently awarded a grant through the Federal Communications, so FCC. And this is a new program that started, and it's called the Affordable Connectivity Program. And what that is to help people who qualify for other benefits, such as SNAP or information that has to do, I'm trying to find the thing that has the benefit, sorry. The eligible folks would have poverty level. It would be for that. It would also be for people that have Medicaid or federal public housing, SSI, and that eligibility list does go on. But the program offers a way for these folks to access for less money with their internet providers. So they're able to get their bills paid almost in full. Some of the benefits that they have, and let me go back to this, I apologize. Here we have the.
Can I interrupt?
benefit-
Kimberly, would
sorry,
you like
go
want us to share the flyer that you sent?
It would be lovely, yes.
Okay,
Because I
alright.
keep trying to jump back between that and the other. Thank you. So the flyer that she's about to put on screen for everybody really goes into detail on what the benefits are, who's eligible, and how the program works. So what you're looking at here is that if you meet any one of these eligibility requirements, you'll be able to earn up to a $30 discount on your internet service, more so depending on if your household is on tribal lands. And they also have a discount of a one-time purchase of computers or tablets to help these folks get connected. And the process couldn't be easier. If you look at this flyer, you see there are in fact 2 steps. You go on to the FCC's website to do the enrollment. As part of the ARC, what we're doing is some outreach programs to help people access that if they don't have their own equipment already. So we'll be reaching out to places like libraries and other community venues so people can sign up. And then the next thing that they do is they just have to contact their internet providers to make sure that the program is essentially turned on, right? So we've already had one success story. This woman applied and she got her very first bill. She's now paying $2 for her internet and website information through her provider that she already had. With new equipment that's fully loaded with USB ports. And, you know, she said she just couldn't be happier with the outcome and the ease of being able to enroll in this program. So our goal is to get out to as many places as we can throughout the state of Rhode Island and really just get the word out and help folks apply. The grant was awarded to all of the ARC's state offices and a handful of other sub offices of those locations. So we're really honored and we're really excited to get out there and get all of these people signed up as soon as possible, because this program, you know, you get connected, you need the connectivity. Susan from Ripon was talking about that they want the communication, you know, so this is how we make sure everybody can get that connectivity. So.
Right, Kim, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
There was a question for you, Kim, if you want it now. Andrew, can you read the question in the?
Sure.
Came from Melanie Spardella and to the host and panelists, it said, are you working with ATAP and ATAL?
I'm not certain what those letters actually stand for, so my answer is going to be no. But I do know that the FCC is the host of this program. They were the ones that were granted the federal funding, and that they've dispersed that out to more than just our organization, the ARC. And this is a national campaign that's being funded through the FCC.
Mm-hmm.
I do also have a link that we can share that has the frequently asked questions through the FCC's website. I'll put that into the chat box so everybody can take a look at that as well, because this is a new program to us and being rolled out by them. So there are still some questions, but that one I haven't had asked yet. So, but perhaps it's in that as well. So I'll put that in the chat in just a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions? Any other comments?
Just, I have one about the ACP and I have to look up the facts, so don't, I'll send this to you, Kimberly, and we can put it in the recording, but at this, well, there's the ACP, the government also offered like that $30. There's another way that people can qualify to get that $30 covered if they're receiving some benefits. So I gotta look it up, but it was like it was through it was a pandemic related thing, but I think it's still there. So
yes, that was one of the things that did come up as part of our training for this program, is that questions about whether or not, how do we know when this program will come to an end? Because some of those benefits did after the pandemic ended. Certain programs that were out there we know across the board had come to an end. And according to the women through the FCC, they don't foresee that being the case. They look that this looks like it's going to be continued without an end date, as long as they can still continue to get funding, based for it. But it doesn't look like they're planning on changing this benefit anytime soon. So that's a really good thing too. Yeah. So hopefully we can share more success stories with you, and I won't be sounding like I have a frog in my throat. Almost everyone in Rhode Island is sick. I apologize though.
I just want to mention that the Small Business Association sponsored an event for small businesses on Saturday, August 25th, but a number of businesses owned by adults with disabilities were present there. Over 30, I believe, if that's correct. I think Jay was there. Excellent event. People had a lot of fun and spent a lot of money. So I don't know if anyone on the call is here that would like to speak about it, but really great event and certainly worth plugging for people to think about for next year.
You're gonna sound.
Yeah, I'll speak up. So Alton Stuckey, who's my foster son, this is probably his 4th year attending and selling his artwork and his calendars. And every year he gets a lot of good connections because he does stuff outside of the small business, doing people's personal portraits and stuff. And so it brings him some pretty good business for a hot minute, but he really enjoys it. And I think the social piece is so important for some of the folks that we support. So yeah, so it was very successful. There was a lot of people there, and it was really great.
Great. Yeah, thanks. Yes, a writer was working hard, and certainly a lot of people were. I mean, it was a very, very busy day. It was great to see people.
It's a good way for them to market too, but some of the, I know with Alton, he's a little shy. And then he'll, when he opens up, forget it, there's no turning around. I said to him, other customers are coming, like, keep it short. Hi, bye, thank you, on the calendar, keep it moving. But, so I think incorporating to the different ways of payment is new for some of our folks, right? And so cash is always king, right? But when they don't, and they only have a card, so this year, his earnings from last year, he had to invest in one of those little, whatever you call them. I don't even know what it is called, but that little white thing where you put the credit card. And also to purchase an iPad so he can do that. And I said, listen, you should have applied for the technology fund because we had to use all your money for this.
That's it.
But it's a good way, again, to teach them different options for payment for folks, because everything is cash. Do you have $1? He'll say 25 cents. I'm like, no, people don't even carry coins anymore. But it's a good opportunity all the way around for a lot of reasons, But I think the biggest piece is the social, which I think they look forward to after a nice Thanksgiving. And so, yeah, I really, really enjoy that. They do a great job.
That was great.
Yeah.
I would like to mention to Elaida that also we are making connecting Center for Women and Enterprise with Sue Babin and her group, and entrepreneurs with disabilities that want to sell their products. So we have been able to secure like 2 tables free of charge at the Center for Women and Enterprise when they have the community fairs. So if any vendors wants to contact me and they are interested, we already have that connection so that they can sell their products there.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, we've worked with them, with some of our clients for business. So yeah, that's great. Thank you.
Right.
You had said that he should have applied for the technology fund. So just people could still apply it, that just to make that common knowledge, it's still open, right, Kev? I mean, it's still open, right? Yeah.
Thank you for that. But you must not know Alton. That kid.
Actually, I know Alton from years ago, so I hear you, but tell him,
so
tell him not to
him
be so stubborn.
Absolutely, very stubborn. So yes, but yeah, we need to do that because it took a lot. It took a lot for him to what do you say, loosen the purse strings to purchase what he needed. But I was like, listen, got to do it. So, but anyway, so now it's just teaching him how to use it since I just learned. But yeah, you're right. We might have to go to the tech fund so that he could use his other monies for something else. So but thanks for sharing.
Anyone else? Any other questions? Any other comments? Any other things people would like other people to know about?
There
We
are
do
two
have a
questions.
question. Yeah,
Two,
okay.
two
making sure
questions
you
in the,
saw that. Yeah.
yeah, there's two in the questions and answers. So Andrew, do you see those?
Yes, I do.
Can
I'm
you-
looking at them right now.
Okay, thank you.
And they're both from Ann Peters. The first thing she asked is, could the critical info on conflict-free case management be posted both to the DDD site as well as EOHS to make it easier to keep up with frequent news? And the second is to Brenda directly. Can updates on conflict-free management be sent both to EOHS and the DDD site so that folks won't miss critical updates?
So the answer to that is yes. If you go to our DD website, if you're more familiar with that, then if you go under initiatives on the left-hand side, that will get you the link to all the conflict-free case management information.
I just put it in the chat and all of this stuff will be in the recording, so you'll be able to click on the website and go right to it.
Thank you.
Well, that's a good positive answer. Okay. Anyone else? Happy to hear from you. That's why we're here. Speak up, tell us what we need to know. Share about an event. Ask a question.
Oh, we want to share. Where's Kelly? Can you tell them about the leadership series?
Okay, this DD Forum is brought to you by the Advocates in Action 2024 Leadership Class Series. The Leadership Class Series is an annual class in which individuals with developmental and intellectual disabilities come and they apply, they get interviewed, and when they get in, they go to a retreat, and then here we learn about speaking up for yourself, self-empowerment, understanding what your services are all about, and how to vote, and understanding how your government works and how your rights work. So you know what to do if your rights are being violated or if they're not following how your support plan should be. Also, it's a great networking opportunity and good place to make friends.
And I just put the link because we are accepting applications now until January 19th next year, and the class starts in February, and it's free. You don't have to read or write or any of that silly stuff. You just have to, if you're someone who's an adult 18 or over, or you're going to turn 18 in the next year in 2024, and you receive DD services and you're a Rhode Island resident, then we would love to have you apply. And we have an open house tomorrow if you're interested. If you go to our website at that link, you can register for the open house to find out more. And there's another one when, Michelle, January 6th.
Can people talk to the people who have been through the class?
Yes, that's what the open houses are for.
Yeah, that's great.
Kelly will give you the same spiel tomorrow with more.
2017 graduate here with Ariana Rodriguez, who graduated in what year did you graduate, Ariana?
2000.
This year, no, from the class was this year, not high school.
I think it was this year from this class. It was at Central Falls High School where my teacher, Miss Jones, I know her.
So, but that was from high school, but for the leadership class, Ariana is one of our most recent graduates.
And Andrew, what year did you graduate?
So many years in the summer, but it was, I think, 2023.
Yeah.
It was
I do know.
Yep.
You got it. You got it.
Awesome.
All becomes a blur right now.
So
that'll be more about that tomorrow. But there's another question there. If Andrew wants to get that next question, or if anybody
Yes,
has
I'm
questions.
here. There are actually two things in the Q&A,
Oh.
which I will read them both. The first is from an anonymous attendee, and it asks Kevin when the technology fund started. Says he upgraded his cell phone and their tablet. And if it wasn't last February, it was the February before, and that they'd like to talk to you about it.
Okay, people can talk to me about it. When is the date that it started? Can Heather tell us that? I believe it
It's
started
Maria, sorry, I couldn't get off mute.
with the
It
first with the first
was
transition.
in May.
right?
It was in May of 2022. And so the other thing that I will say is you really need to submit a request. That's the process that we go through is people submit a request to the different tech funds. We have rounds quarterly and because we need to make sure people are requesting things and we're approving what those purchases are prior to people just going out purchasing something that may not get approved.
But anyway, if you want to, feel free to give me a call. My number is 462-0581.
We have on our website, and I'll put that in the chat, we have a little video that we made to help explain how to complete the tech fund request form for the divisions, in case that's helpful.
And was there another question, Andrew?
Yes. There is one, it's more of a comment from Ann Peters. It says applause to CPNRI who recently shared news of a person with a disability being hired as a caregiver. Great way to use talents and experience.
Okay, thanks for sharing that.
Andrew, could you read the thing from Jay also? It's in the chat, not the question and answers. Or is it from Jay? No, from Kimberly about the event they're holding.
Kimberly Hedenberg said, we are holding a live event tomorrow for the ACP at the Cranston Library. And I think she provided the web link for that in the chat as well.
So it's tomorrow from 12 to noon.
Deb, it can't be from 12 to noon. 12 o'clock is noon.
Well,
Sorry. Yeah, I was just seeing if you're paying attention. 12 to 2. Thank you, Andrew. I'm with you with the cold, Kimberly. My brain is like.
you. Very much so.
Andrew keeps us in line. He really does. I didn't even notice that you said that. 12 to noon, that seems reasonable.
Yeah, that's a good amount of time.
I thought you were just trying to keep it really short.
It was.
It's gonna be a really brief meeting. Yeah.
There's another one in there, Andrew, and there's also a comment in the questions and
The first is from Lisa Palmacchio. She says, it's not a question, can't post in chat, just a thank you to all of us. And finally, there's something there from Vince Ruvolo. Are there any technology request funds aside from the Rhode Island Division of Developmental Disabilities?
Does anyone know of any besides DD Tech Fund?
I'm not sure what the question exactly is, but
Yeah.
there is the ATEL and ATAP. Maybe next time we could ask them to come.
Can you
and
tell us
present.
what those stand for too? Because somebody,
I don't remember. ATAP is the Accessible
Dan, this is
Technology
Melanie.
Assistance Project.
This
Oh,
is
hi,
this
Melanie.
is Melanie. So I was the ATAP ATEL director up until last year, so I can tell you. So ATAP is the Assistive Technology Access Partnership. It's in every state. It's a federally funded grant that is like almost like a library loan system. So it allows, if they have technology to loan on a short-term basis, it's the ultimate goal is to provide like a gap in, say somebody their technology breaks, they can borrow it or try it to see if it's something they want to purchase long term. So that's ATAP. They do other things like training and technical assistance. And then the other part of it is adaptive, not the other part of it, it's another program, but they kind of intertwine a little bit. It's the Adaptive Telephone Equipment Loan Program. And you get little fees taken out of your cell phone and your phone. And some of that goes towards this program. And this provides individuals that have deaf, hard of hearing, or neuromuscular communication disorders the ability to get either a landline or a like an iPad or a cell phone. And then that's why I had asked about the program through ARC, because it would be, I actually just emailed Denise Corson, who runs the ATEL program. So she's going to connect with, I'm forgetting your name. You had a cool last name, but she's going to connect. Yeah, she's going to connect with that. I sent her the flyer. So.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, so I sent her the flyer. So she's going to connect with you while you guys are on. So
Wonderful.
those two programs, people underutilized, but they're very knowledgeable. The agencies that are, for ATAP is Ocean State Center for Independent Living, ORS, we have a branch of it, East Bay Educational Collaborative, and Tech Access. Those are the partners. So that's it. And I sent it in the chat somewhere. I put ATEL. I put the web link. So
Thanks, Melanie.
All right, thank you very much. That's very helpful.
sorry, that
yeah.
was a hat for me for 7 years, so I can just blurt it out.
Yeah.
We are at time. So unless there's someone who has one last pressing thing to say, we will call the meeting. Thank you very much for your participation, for your questions, for Advocates in Action. Thanks for your leadership as always. We appreciate it. And have great holidays, everybody, and we'll see you next year.
Happy holidays and Happy New Year.
Yeah,
Thank
happy
you.
holidays.
Thank you. Bye.